Hi, it's Psychic Robert James, and I'm making a new video, and today's topic is going to be on a question that comes up a lot, which is everything in our lives, is it predestined? Is everything already set before us? That there's no options that we're given or different paths that we can take in our lives because everything has been pre-planned by some sort of higher power, if you whatever you want to call it. To answer that simply, no. Everything in our lives are not predestined. If everything in our lives was already prearranged before coming here to lead a physical life on earth, there wouldn't be such a thing as choice. There wouldn't be such a thing as life lessons. There wouldn't be such a thing as different paths before us that we can take in our lives. The reason for this is because humans have something that kind of separates us from other living things. What is it that separates us from other living things is we have the freedom of choice. We were given the option to choose. So if everything is predestined, there would be no such thing as choice because it didn't matter what we did. Things were already set to take place. So we would have the illusion of choice. Whereas that's not the case. We actually have choice. Well, what I mean by this is that there are certain things in our life that are supposed to happen. Some of those things are, who our soulmate is, when or how we're supposed to die, any other sort of major event that takes place in our life. Those are usually prearranged, but we do have choice. And what I mean by that is we may meet, for example, our soulmate. Let's say when we're in our early 20s, we meet our soulmate. But for whatever reason, at that time in our lives, we don't make the choice to be with our soulmate. Or the person that we're supposed to be with isn't in the right state or on the right path to make the choice to be with us. So what ends up happening is later on, let's say 10 years later, we run into our soulmate again, but this time we make the choice. And this time they make the choice to actually walk that path that has been predestined for us. So, yes, we do have choice. Yes, certain things are predestined. However, because we have freedom of choice, some things aren't predestined. Some things aren't necessarily meant to happen to us. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is sometimes shit happens. Sometimes something happens that it just surprises us out of the blue and we didn't even see it coming. And that's what I mean. It could be something, for instance, your car breaks down. Even though it's a brand new car, you've had no problems with it, you haven't even put enough mileage on it to take it in for a service yet, and all of a sudden it breaks down. That's what I mean by sometimes shit just happens. There isn't necessarily a reason for it. It's not something that was predestined to happen. It's just something that just happened. And sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Now back to this whole, predestined thing. It really all depends. You can't really say definitively, yes, everything is predestined, or no, nothing's predestined. Everything is up to us with choice. Anyone who says that it is 100% everything, no matter how big or small, whether you stub your toe on the coffee table or all the way up to in between to whatever might happen to you die, everything is predestined. I don't agree with that. Now, that's just my opinion, and I know other people may disagree, but that's fine. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. I'm just stating mine based on my experiences and my knowledge of the spiritual universe. So, long story short, what I'm trying to say is yes, some things are predestined, but we do have the option of choice of when these things happen in our lives. Also, sometimes shit just happens. And it has nothing to do with the choices we made or the choices we didn't make, or we were supposedly on a wrong path and this happened to bring us back on the right path. It sometimes shit just happens and there's nothing we can do about it. So that's just, a few minutes on my opinion, based on my experiences, what I feel is the answer, or a quick answer to the subject of, are our lives predestined? I could stay on this topic for hours and answer all sorts of questions on it, but I just wanted to do a quick little thing just because it was something that came to my attention, so I just wanted to share it. But if you guys have any other questions regarding this, please feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you. Or you can go to my website, which is psychicrobertjames.com, hit the contact button, and send me an email with your question. Or you can go to my Facebook page, which is Psychic Robert James. Just look it up on Facebook. Thank you for your time. I wish you all the best, and I'll talk to you again.